Let me say this clearly, if you can do 10 push-ups, you can reach 90. Not today, not tomorrow, but sooner than you think. And no, you don't need a gym, supplements, or crazy workouts. What you need is to stop training push-ups the way everyone else does. Because the reason most teens and athletes get stuck at 20, 30, or 40 push-ups has nothing to do with strength. It's about how their brain and muscles are being trained to quit. If you're watching this video right now, there's a good chance you've tried to improve your push-ups before. You've dropped to the floor, pumped out reps, felt the burn in your arms and thought, this has to be working. But days later, weeks later, your number barely moved. Maybe you're stuck at 15, maybe 25, maybe you hit 40 once and never again. And slowly, you start believing the lie that most people believe, that high push-ups are about genetics. They're not. Doing 90 push-ups in one set is not reserved for elite soldiers or professional athletes. It's not about having massive arms or a huge chest. It's about understanding how endurance actually works, and training your body and mind the right way. This video isn't a quick hack, it's not a gimmick, it's a proven system used by endurance athletes, military units, and disciplined trainees around the world. And if you're a teen, this might be the best time in your life to build this ability, because honestly, your body adapts faster than you think. Let's start with the biggest myth. Most people think push-ups are a strength exercise. They believe if they just get stronger, their numbers will go up. So they push to failure every workout. They collapse on the floor. They rest until they feel ready again. And they repeat this cycle over and over. It feels intense. It feels productive. But it's quietly killing progress. Push-ups are not a pure strength test, they're an endurance test under fatigue, and endurance is trained differently than strength. If you train endurance like strength, you stay stuck. That's why someone smaller, lighter, or less muscular can sometimes out-rep bigger athletes. Their muscles learned how to survive fatigue. I didn't understand this when I started. When I first began training push-ups, I was frustrated. I wasn't weak, but I wasn't good either. My arms shook early, my breathing got out of control, my form broke down fast. I trained almost every day, always to failure, always exhausted. And after months, my max barely increased. That's when I realized something uncomfortable. Working harder wasn't making me better. You know, the problem wasn't effort. It was strategy. Your body learns from what you repeat, and honestly, when you repeat failure every workout, you teach your nervous system just one thing: when to quit. You're literally practicing stopping. Elite endurance athletes never train this way. Long-distance runners don't sprint every run. Swimmers don't race every lap. Fighters don't go all out every round. They train below failure, accumulate volume, and let adaptation happen quietly. That's the first mindset shift you need to make. Training is not a test. Training is preparation. Your maximum push-ups should only be tested once every 2 to 3 weeks. Testing more often drains progress, especially for teens who want fast results. If you're constantly checking your max, you're constantly resetting fatigue. So here's the foundation of the system. Step 1 is knowing your current max. One clean set, no rushing, full range of motion, chest to floor, lockout at the top. Whatever that number is, 15, 20, 30, 40, that's your baseline. Now here's the part that, honestly, feels wrong but really changes everything. Your training reps should be 70% of that max, not 100%. So, if your max is 30, your training reps are about 20. If your max is 40, your training reps are about 28. And if your max is 20, your training reps are about 14. This immediately removes ego from training, and that's good, because you know, ego is the enemy of endurance. Now you perform 5 to 7 sets of those reps, resting only 45 to 60 seconds between sets. That short rest is crucial. It's what forces your muscles to adapt to fatigue instead of avoiding it. This workout doesn't feel heroic. There's no collapse, no dramatic finish. You'll probably finish and think, I could do more. That feeling is exactly why this works. For teens, this is powerful. Your recovery speed is high, your nervous system adapts quickly. If you stay consistent, your progress will feel unfair compared to people training randomly. You train like this 5 days per week, not 7, not 2, 5. It's enough frequency to build endurance, but also enough rest to recover. Each workout should take no more than 15 minutes. This really matters. Long workouts drain discipline, but short workouts build habits. After about a week, you'll notice something subtle. Your breathing feels calmer during sets, your arms don't shake as much, the reps feel smoother. This is endurance building quietly. After about 2 weeks, most people make a mistake. They test their max early. Seriously, don't. Progress doesn't always feel dramatic before it actually shows up. Trust the process. When you finally test again after 14 to 21 days, make sure you warm up properly. Get blood into your arms, Set a steady pace. Don't rush the early reps. Think in chunks of 10 and focus on your breathing. Most people are honestly shocked by how far they go. But reaching 60 push-ups is not the final goal. Reaching 90 or more requires one more layer of training. Control under fatigue. This is where slow push-ups come in. Once per week, replace your normal workout with slow-tempo push-ups. Take 5 seconds lowering your body, pause briefly, then push up with intent. These reps honestly feel completely different. Your muscles stay under tension longer, your joints become stronger, and your form, it just improves automatically. You don't need high reps here. Even 8 to 12 slow push-ups per set is enough. Do 4 to 5 sets. Rest well. This is quality work. Athletes benefit massively from this. Better shoulder stability, better core engagement, and better movement awareness. All of this carries over into higher rep endurance. Now, let's talk about a mistake almost everyone makes. Breathing. Most people hold their breath during push-ups without realizing it. This spikes fatigue early and cuts reps short. The rule is simple. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you push. Controlled breathing can add reps instantly without changing strength. Form matters too. Tight core, squeeze glutes, neutral spine. Your body should move as one unit. Any energy leaking through bad posture is stolen reps. When your training sets start feeling easier, don't just jump straight to your max reps. Instead, try increasing your volume. You can add one more set or maybe add 2 reps per set. These small increases, honestly, they add up to hundreds of extra reps every single week. That's really how endurance is built safely. If your progress stalls for more than 2 weeks, it's time to change the stimulus. You can do incline push-ups to recover while still keeping your volume high. Or, try decline push-ups to really overload your muscles. Diamond push-ups are great for strengthening your triceps. These variations, they keep your body adapting without burning out. Recovery is not optional. Sleep is not optional. Hydration is not optional. Honestly, you don't need supplements. What you need is consistency, because junk recovery leads to junk performance. Now, let's talk about the hardest part. The mental barrier. Around rep 50 or 60, something happens. Your body starts sending signals to stop. Your arms begin to burn. Your breathing gets loud. Your mind, it starts negotiating with you. This is where most people quit. Not spoken skurv, bercompertanistedic and crocker caw. Not sprider diet they can't do more, but because they've never really trained to stay calm under fatigue. Your training should teach you that, hey, fatigue is survivable. Every submax set you complete, it builds confidence. You're telling your brain, we can keep going. On test day, don't rush, set a rhythm. Control your breathing. Don't look at the final number. Look at the floor. Focus on the next rep. When you hit rep 70, it's not about strength anymore, it's about discipline. This is where athletes separate themselves, you know? Talent doesn't matter here, mindset does. And when you finally lock out that last rep, arm-shaking B-roll of someone struggling with push-ups, chest burning, you'll realize something important. B-roll of a person reflecting on their workout. You didn't reach 90 push-ups because you were special. B-roll of a person achieving their goal. You reached it because you trained smart. B-roll of someone planning their workout, and you stayed consistent when progress was quiet. If you follow this system exactly, control your reps, avoid failure, build volume, train frequently and respect recovery, 90 push-ups is not extreme, it's inevitable.